Hello, and welcome to the second part of the build of the Sturmgeschütz III Ausf B from Tamiya. And we jump right into it because I'm already breaking something off here. It's the wooden plank that holds the storage. I found it was not in a good place. I had some problem with stowage, which was resting on the pull cables. So I moved it forward a little bit. And here I am placing the stowage. This was a really fun part of the building because with these tiny elements you can make unique accents to the kit. You can tell your own story with this. Like the little bottle that I put inside, you can see it in the open hatch on the right side. And this, what looks like a olive oil can, which I put under a hatch. It's bright yellow, but because it's under the hatch, it will be less noticeable. And I find that a fun detail. Here I'm making a cloth, a tarp. That was new for me. I'd seen a tutorial on YouTube which uses tissue paper. And I painted it with olive drab, pretty wet, and now I can fold it and put it in place. You see a lot of tutorials where they use specialist stuff or epoxy putty rolled out. For me that was a little bit intimidating, and this I had on hand, so I tried this first and I really enjoyed doing this. You get a really good result very quick, and it helps to tie all the stowage together. Not that you have 5 separate objects in the back of the tank, but it's all unified by one tarp. And here I'm soaking it with diluted PVA glue and with a little persuasion of a brush, pushing it down to make it look like graffiti is doing its job a little bit better. And this is the result. Very fun to do. Okay, make it filthy onto the mud. This is Vallejo thick mud. What a great stuff this is. It will give you basically all the texture you want on the side of the tank and the underside. It gives a muddy texture, but there are also parts in it which look like grass. It gives it a lovely texture. So you can put it on in a thick blob or make it very light, so it's only a little bit dusty or sandy. As you can see here, I fill all the gaps in between. I spread out what I already put there. And as long as there are no flat spots anymore. Here I use a dark brown oil wash to darken the shade of the mud. Not because I wanted to go for a very wet look, but I didn't want to draw too much attention to the lower part of the tank. I wanted to keep this fairly dark, so the focus will remain on the upper part of the tank. The tracks I first used terrain paste for the first layer of mud on the tracks. And I wiped the top of the tracks where the metal pieces are clean, so I can paint them later. Here I use dry mud to fill the rest of the track in random dots. And again I scrape the top of the track, the metal parts, clean. Now I'm applying a rust wash. And here I realized that I still have to do the inside of the track, but the rust wash to give a different shade to the track. Here is the inside that I forgot to do, only the outer edge. The rubber part of the wheels drive over the inner part, so they remain clean. And here I am going to color it in with a charcoal pencil where the rubber rubs off on the track. Here you can see it up close. The bottom is still regular plastic and the top part I did with the pencil. Nice dull black. And finally a brown oil wash. Mainly to give it another color and to dull the high spots down a little bit. And as a final detail, these pins, they remain bare metal because they constantly rub against the wheels. Speaking of the wheels, actually the process you just saw, I did to the track, I also did to the wheels, except that I didn't use the terrain paste. So the thick mud, the dry mud, the rust wash and the brown oil wash. And I all applied it very random to the wheels. I was actually dreading this part, the tracks and the wheels, but you can get a credible result pretty quickly if you watch enough YouTube model builds and have the right materials. just slap it on and a little bit random. Here I put on the wheels and later on the track of the tank. Glue the track together with some slow setting CA glue. With the help of some clamps. So here the track is still a little bit sloppy. There's not enough tension in the track, so I'm going to adjust that now. I've painted small pieces of the rod of a cotton board. I painted it black and I'm pushing it above the track so it looks like the track sags down a little bit. Here I'm touching up some rubber on the tires because they either got too much mud or some aluminum paint got on them when I stuffed the track over them. And here I paint the outside metal part of the track. Also an aluminum color. I don't have that many different types of metal colors, so this is also Mr. Hobby Aluminum. And the final touch with a pencil, a lead pencil, to create some bare metal spots. Give it a bit of a shine, also on the towing cable. I had done this before, but it kind of disappears over time. And the result is barely noticeable. You really have to know where to look to see it. But anyway, I did it. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The end result. This was quite a big learning curve to make a tank for the first time. A lot of new elements, new techniques, new materials, like the photo edge, the tissue paper, how to create rust and use mud. But I really enjoyed it. To delve in all the parts of the tank, why it is on a tank and what it's made of, and then to come up with a way to recreate it with lacquer paints or oil paints and tissue paper. So I had a lot of fun with this. This will probably be the first of many tanks. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed watching this build. Now I'm going to think about what to build next. Maybe an airplane. Hope to see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Doei. Bye.